The college football experience, weekday games preview, and DFS show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use that promo code CFBX on your first purchase to save 20 American dollars. Let's go. Download the Game Time app. Use that promo code CFBX for 20 smackaroos off. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog has just added Pick'em Scorchers, where you can win 100 times the amount of money you enter. That's right. Turn $5 into $500 just in one game. Plus, every Sunday they're giving out $100K. Use the promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $500. And finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get a 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Jerry Glanville, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Weekday game preview and DFS show. What is this show? You don't know what it is? This is a brand new show on the college football experience that we'll be doing every single week. And that is because college football, in one way, is getting a lot better. We have a lot more weekday games. Thanks to the Conference USA, Sun Belt, and MAC, and a little bit of the Big 12. And occasionally an FCS team will show up there. But we got a loaded slate, so I figured let's give out an episode. Hopefully, I mean, you might have just listened to my FCS show in the sweatshop. I call that studio the sweatshop because there's no AC. There's no AC. They got me working like I'm working for Phil Knight in Cambodia, just doing a fucking 20-hour shift, 3 shows. No, we're over 3 shows, man. If you count, I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here. This is, if my math is correct, which is always a little shaky.
You were the host of 3 shows.
Host of 3 shows, but I was on as a guest for 2 hours today on a show. You'll see me share on Twitter at 5 a.m. So this is show, and then I was a guest on another show. This is show 5, I think. 5? This is show 5, and we got one more tonight. SGP coming up after this, folks. Let's go. Shout out to the chat. We're rocking along. And I'm out of the sweatshop. I'm back in the normal studio. All right. Things are good. You're probably wondering who the hell you're listening to. And that's fair. My name is Colby Swigga, Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
It's kind of like watching your mother-in-law go off a cliff in a Cadillac. You got mixed feelings.
Oh, how you doing, folks? I'm supposed to play music there. I just enjoy that new sound drop. All right. Welcome to the college football experience. We got a loaded card. Tuesday night. Tuesday night's fire. Wednesday night's fun. Thursday night's fire. Friday night is fire. Let's go. Love it when the world gives us these gems. All right. I am joined by my co-host on a Monday night. What's going on? All right. Give it up for Farmer. Well, actually, first we invite you to come play DFS with us. He's the DFS god. But give it up for the rooftop IPA drinking, homebrew making, tobacco road living, the free lock giving. Farmer, Herndon Basketball League MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place to be.
There we go. What's going on, man?
I mean, the whole world's just saying,
Now we got a problem. Now we got a problem.
now we got a problem. We're giving us extra content every single Monday night with these weekday game previews and DFS slates.
College football is finally listening to you. We got more weekday games. Granted, it took to week 7 to make it happen, but better late than never. And I'm really excited for some of the games, especially on Tuesday night.
Yes, I mean Tuesday night, Thursday night. I think Tuesday night is really, really good. But thank you. All right, now you can do more. Like I said, there should be 5, 6, 7 games pretty much every week except Sunday and Monday.
Friday night's fire too.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it. We're gonna give it to you all here on the College Football Experience. But look, first, I haven't got your look. I got a chance to react with Patty C. I got a chance to react with the man in the box, CJ Sullivan from the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. But I haven't got NC Nick's take on a wacky and wild week 6. And I know things started off. Noah, do we have that clip? Great moment happened in Madison, Wisconsin. I don't know if we have that clip prepared right now. If not, it's okay. But we have a pretty fire clip from this weekend. There's a lot of fire outcomes here, but yes, in Wisconsin, we did have this nice play.
Can we blow that up?
Yeah, can we make that bigger, dude? I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Let's look at this. So it's a pass, hits the turf, and then hits the cameraman right in the nuts. Absolutely fantastic. That was my favorite highlight from the weekend. Yeah, I mean, look, come on. And he was down. They should have extended that clip because he was down a little bit further than that. Which, the more time he spends on the ground, the funnier it is, in my opinion. But what'd you make in general of the weekend? I mean, obviously, I think you had a lot of big time storylines, but what'd you make of it?
It was a fantastic Saturday for college football. A lot of great games. I mean, every time slot had a couple of really, nail biters, big time matchups. And it's all kind of capped off, at least on the East Coast before I went to bed, with the Georgia Tech Miami debacle. And just how hilarious that was for this to happen to Cristobal again and for Miami to lose in that fashion. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it pairs well with our Miami under because we needed that after them beating Texas A&M. You needed them to have an upset somewhere there, and now we're back on track for the Hurricanes having a shitty season. I mean, do you think this will hurt Miami, like recruiting wise, or do you think that just now they pay?
I mean, Cristobal can recruit. They got deep pockets now. I don't think one loss necessarily hurts them recruiting, and recruiting's never been their problem anyway. It's been game day coaching. It's been X's and O's. It's been clock management, late game scenarios, and that I don't see that improving anytime soon.
Yeah, pretty hilarious there. I'm curious, your take on. Let's stay in the ACC. NC State, MJ Morris gets the start. They cover for me, but if they didn't give up like 1,000 points to Marshall, but they cover for me. That was one of my locks. Is MJ Morris the answer for the Wolfpack to get our win total over?
I am shocked that the offense put up that many points, but it's like the offense shows up and the defense disappears. I thought this game was going to be like in the 20-13 or something. If you would have told me NC State and Marshall were going to put up 89 points, I would have told you you're crazy. MJ Morris wasn't, without error. He threw 3 picks, but he did throw for 265 and 4 touchdowns. So that's the best the offense has looked all season by a landslide. So I think you continue to let him run with it. He needs to limit those turnovers. But, they're playing a Sun Belt team. Marshall's a good Sun Belt team. So let's not get too crazy. NC State has Duke next, I believe.
Without Riley Leonard.
Right. And that's at Duke. And that's a big time matchup, man, because NC State's schedule is pretty damn tough. Duke, Clemson, Miami, next 3 games.
Yeah, well, all we need is 3 wins here, right? 3 wins.
Yeah.
We have 4. So if they beat Duke, that'll be 5, right? Which I would still favor Duke, but it's much more winnable with no Riley Leonard.
For sure.
They're going to lose to Clemson. Actually, they get Clemson and Raleigh. That's winnable.
The way Clemson's playing?
Yeah, that is very winnable.
Yeah, why not?
Then they get Miami and Raleigh. Look, they're gonna. What do you mean? We're gonna hit. They're gonna win the next 3.
I mean, they could win any of the next 6 games, but I would say they're going to be a dog in at least 3 of them. Not a big dog.
What do you mean? But all we need is 3.
No, I mean they can get there for sure.
Yeah.
They can get to 7-5, no doubt about it. I'm not saying they definitely will. I think we have to see this offense one more time, and we need the defense to play the way they were playing before the Marshall game.
Yeah, fair points, but I mean, we got out of that. I hit my bet, and I'm looking better and better for that over. Let's talk though about my Louisville Cardinals. You were on them. You knew the moment. You knew the moment there.
Yeah.
But buddy, I'm trying not to overreact, but I don't think it's possible to not overreact to this, because when I look at the Louisville schedule, assuming, like, tell me where they will be an underdog. Ready? At Pitt this week. They are an 8-point favorite, I think it is. Yep.
Yes, at least a touchdown or so, yeah.
Home to Duke in a game. Now, there is a bye week, but they have a bye week before home to Duke. But Riley Leonard, will he be healthy? We don't know. I think Louisville will be favored, right?
At home, yeah.
Okay. So that would then put them at 8-0 going into November. In November, home to Virginia Tech.
There's no way they lose to Virginia Tech or UVA at home.
Yes, well, that puts them at 10-0 going into South Florida. and you're telling me, I'm going to make a strong prediction. If they are 10-0, which is a big if, because for some reason I feel like Pitt's going to beat them. Right?
I think they're going to drop one to somebody.
If they're 10-0, though, going to Miami, do you realize that I watched that Miami Georgia Tech game the other night? No one was at that stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, it's going to be packed with Louisville Cardinals fans.
Great
fans, and they travel for sure.
Yes. They will all fly down to Miami.
Yep.
To have a party. And then they are hosting Kentucky, which I think they'll be favored in.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they're 11-0. Now, that game could give them problems, but you could almost say Kentucky's a little bit similar to Notre Dame. Strong running team, good O-line, D-line play, and they just took care of Notre Dame pretty easily. So, is there a chance Louisville goes 12-0? Certainly. I don't see it happening. I think they probably lose 2 at least twice. I say they probably end up 10-2. What do you think? What's your prediction as for their final regular season record this year?
You know what? I think 11-1.
Yeah.
You know who I think it's going to be? I think it's going to be Pitt.
Yeah.
Pitt. I feel like Pitt's the scariest game on the schedule left. I don't know why. You would think it'd be Miami or Kentucky or Duke, but the fact that Riley Leonard probably won't be 100% is such a break for Louisville. And even playing Pitt right now, they're just moving their starting quarterback to tight end. It's a great break for Louisville. For sure.
Well, I mean, you picked them to go to the ACC championship game or win it partly because of their pretty easy schedule.
Yeah.
Or at least a manageable schedule.
Well, here's the thing is that I think the offense and defense get more in tuned to what they want and every week.
You would think this team's going to get better as the season goes along, sure. But now this is a team that just barely got by NC State.
And
only beat Indiana by a touchdown.
They were up 21-0. But yeah. Fair. I get your point. And Indiana got to the 1-yard line.
Right.
But if there's anyone that can do it, it's the Browns, baby. All right. I'm loving this thing. Over 7.5 wins. I'm 6-0 right now.
That's crazy.
I'm fucking Lionel Richie dancing on the ceiling right now, folks. Look, we're gonna talk more. I'm gonna ask him a couple more questions about reaction. But before I do that, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by the Game Time app. Yes, buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be that stressful. Game Time's the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, and theater that is near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun that you'll be having at that very event. And snag the tickets without the stress with the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, terms apply. Create that account, $20 off. Redeeming code CFBX. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, a sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. They're going to tell you about the time Marv Cook scored 3 touchdowns for the New England Patriots in 89. All right, let's go. All right, download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, so NC Nick, there was something, and Noah talked about this, and I hate to repeat what I said on the CJ Sullivan show, the bombs down under, and shout out to Shane, Louisville plus 650 to win the ACC right now. I mean, that's still a juicy ass price.
I mean, getting to the ACC game is one thing, and then knocking off Florida State, perhaps UNC, perhaps that's another thing. But
dude,
for that juicy of a price, I mean, why not?
I almost think it's a lock they play in it right now.
It's certainly looking that way, especially, win 1 or 2 more games, and then it's really starting to look that way.
I mean, I know Duke's undefeated. I know North Carolina's undefeated within the ACC and Florida State, but they play each other.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, no. Noah did bring up this. We get rid of the divisions, right? Which I think we were all in favor of because the Coastal sucked ass.
Right.
However, you might have a scenario. It is possible to have a scenario where Louisville goes undefeated, North Carolina goes undefeated, and Florida State goes undefeated. They don't play each other. None of them.
Yeah, I heard you propose that, and yes, technically it is possible. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think the longer the season goes, you're going to see a lot of these undefeated teams or undefeated within the conference start dropping games. Because, can you trust UNC?
No.
Can you trust Louisville?
I can trust that remaining schedule.
Yeah. Florida State, I mean, I guess, who's the most trustworthy right now?
I actually think the easiest road is Louisville. That's what I'm saying. I almost think they're a lock because of if Riley Leonard's injury had not happened, because even if he plays, it was a high ankle sprain. Riley Leonard's game is running the ball as well as passing the ball. So I think that's a critical injury. And then even there's only 5 ACC games left for 5 ACC games left for Louisville at Pitt. A bye week before hosting Duke, hosting hosting Virginia Tech, hosting UVA, and then at Miami. They are going to have the home crowd in every single game except the Pitt game.
True story.
So I tend to think 4-1, worst case scenario 3-2, in my opinion.
Right.
3-2, they're still going to get in, I think, because when you look at North Carolina's remaining schedule, it starts this week with them hosting Miami, right? Then they're hosting UVA, which I think they'll take care of. At Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has beaten the shit out of North Carolina like 2 or 3 years in a row.
I'm aware.
Then they get Campbell, which you're thinking, okay, cruise control. No, the final 3 weeks of the season. Home to Duke on November 11th, which Riley Leonard should be a lot healthier then. At Clemson, one of the toughest places to play in America. And then at NC State. So I think their road is way harder than Louisville's, right?
Sure.
And Duke is still undefeated in conference too, but I think the Riley Leonard injury, unfortunately, they're probably not going to have him for Florida State.
Right, and that's such a big blow.
Yeah, and NC State. So I mean, like if Duke can find a way to get to win this week against NC State, who knows?
That'd be huge. That would be huge.
It'll be 2 weeks then since Riley Leonard's injury. Maybe he'll be feeling better about it.
It'd be 3 weeks because they were on bye this past week.
Yeah, so 3 weeks before they go into Tallahassee, but back-to-back away. Dude, Duke's remaining schedule is a fucking gauntlet.
Yeah.
Home to NC State, at Florida State, at Louisville, home to Wake on a short week, at North Carolina, followed by at Virginia, but home to Pitt even could fuck up your season. I don't know. I feel like right now the inside track, and I guess I should probably talk about Florida State's schedule.
I would think so because they're the number 4 ranked team in the country, 5-0, and they have a couple home games in a row with Syracuse and Duke. I think they take care of those, and they're sitting at 7-0. The road trips are very manageable at Wake, at Pitt.
Wake has beaten them like 4 or 5 straight times.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying that Florida State can't drop that game, but I'm still saying Florida State's probably a touchdown favored.
Sure. At Pitt, I thought was going to be a loss beginning of the year.
They look like dog shit.
Yeah, I can't say that anymore. They have the Miami rivalry game.
That could be fun.
That could be fun, but
and then their ACC season's done with 2 games left on the schedule.
They're going to the championship too.
I think so.
Louisville and Florida State. Pencil it right now.
Probably right. UNC is the only person that might be able to say something there.
Yeah,
and well, I guess and Duke, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But hey, it's fun that the ACC race is this entertaining because. And if it was with the Coastal and Atlantic, it would be Clemson or Florida State, definitely.
Yeah.
And then
but no, Louisville wouldn't have a chance then.
Right. Well, I guess they would be playing each other though. So,
but they wouldn't be 6-0 then. They probably had to play them early in the year.
Probably, but the race will be exciting.
Very exciting. Any other games that you really caught on Saturday that you were like, man, that game was awesome, or that game was shocking?
I mean, obviously the Red River Shootout was a great game. The first quarter was just unbelievable. Like so many big plays and turnovers and a block punt. I mean, wild game. It's always fun to see Texas lose, even when you bet on them. I echo your sentiments there. Yeah. Other than that, the Bama A&M game was fun. I didn't get a chance to watch UCLA Washington State because it's on the Pac-12 network. But
that happens. That happens.
LSU Missouri game and the awful beat at the end of that. It was just an awesome weekend for college football, hands down.
Yeah, and this week's loaded too. So let's get into it, folks, because Tuesday night. What I feel like the ESPN 30 for 30. What if I told you college football started playing Tuesday games in October? All right, fucking fantastic. All right, the first one that kicks off at 4 Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. That's actually the shittiest game of the night. But as someone that's a fan of Rick Stockstill, he's 1-5 right now.
He needs it.
And you know what's crazy? I was looking at this earlier today. They're capable. I think they're a lot better than their record. You got to remember, they played Missouri and Alabama to start the season.
They've been in every game except for Alabama.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't shock me if they won out. I think they could win out. Now, I'm not saying they're gonna, because at Liberty's tough. At New Mexico State is tough. Jerry Kill land, baby. And then even at Sam Houston to end the season. But I still think you win this game against La Tech. You go to Liberty. Liberty almost lost to Sam Houston. I kind of think Middle Tennessee is a better team than Sam Houston. That could be a second win. Then you go, you get a bye week, and then you're at New Mexico State. Possible. Home to the airport and Mike McIntyre, possible. Home to UTEP, possible. And then at Sam Houston State. And Stock still goes 7-5. He's back in the Hula Bowl or whatever. What was it in Hawaii? The Hawaii Bowl. I don't know what the hell. Rainbow
Aloha Bowl.
Yeah, there we go. And we're back.
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. They're currently 1-5. How about they just win a game against an FBS opponent? Because right now their only win is against Murray State. So
the Racers, don't you disrespect the Racers. Look, I'm going to start things off with a little Dundee lock. Middle Tennessee -3 is cashing on Tuesday night.
They just got outscored 38-7 in the second half last week. You're that
Rich
confident.
Rod is a great coach. Sonny Cumbie, sorry. Coach Leach is a friend of ours. Sonny Cumbie played for him. Not a very good coach.
Look, I'm on the same side as yours, but there's no way in hell I'm going to lock this game up because I don't think La Tech is very good, but I don't think Middle Tennessee is either. And there's just too much that could happen in this game. I think it's going to be kind of a wild game. I mean, I do like Vadiato, the quarterback for Middle Tennessee. He's a gunslinger. He's got some moxie to him. I think Middle Tennessee is due for a change of fortune. The ball bounces their way in this game. I think they do win. And I think they cover, but I don't know, man. This is going to be a wacky game.
Nobody walks into Johnny Red Floyd Stadium and gets a dub. All right.
Last year, La Tech won 40-24 in Ruston.
Yep. Revenge is on the mind. And Rick Stock still remembers that. All right. I love this play, man.
Do you?
I can't believe my play last week of Western Kentucky -7 didn't cash when they were up 35-7.
I bet it at -6.5. When they were up 35-7, I went to bed and I woke up. I was like, wow, I just barely hit that. So, I mean, La Tech, they've been playing decent football the last couple of weeks. That's why I'm surprised you're that confident in Middle Tennessee.
It's not decent football, man. They suck. This team sucks.
So does Middle Tennessee.
No. Middle Tennessee is better. Middle Tennessee, I feel very good about laying the 3 points.
Okay, I'm on the same side, but I don't feel good about it.
Let's go. And look, I'll keep the lock train going because on Tuesday night, this slate is fire. Coastal Carolina at Appalachian State. How many times you been to this matchup?
Twice, including last year in Conway, where the Chanticleers won by 7. It was a fantastic game. This is a fun rivalry. You know, they're going down to Conway. All the students are chanting "Fuck App State, fuck App State."
Beautiful.
App State calls Coastal Carolina the Beach Chickens. It's just a fun budding rivalry in the Sun Belt.
Yes, and okay, tell me why then, because I'm gonna bet this.
Yeah,
probably gonna bet this right now while we're doing the show because I can do that. Coastal's never won in Boone.
Yep.
6 points. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. They're going to fuck up Coastal Carolina. I love laying the 6 points here. Am I a fool? Because I think this is lockworthy.
Well, so it seems like every App State game is going to go down to the wire. Yeah, they just barely beat ULM, which was that was the second of some tough back-to-back road trips. They lost to Wyoming by the blocked field goal for a touchdown. You go back to the UNC game that went to overtime. The only 2 games at home were games that actually didn't have a last-second play. They beat ECU 43-28, and they beat Gardner-Webb 45-24. But those scores were misleading because those were ball games at the half. ECU was winning at the half. So, and I don't know what's going on with the quarterback situation. It seems like Ryan Berger is back and healthy, and I think he's going to be starting, which is kind of surprising because I think Aguilar's done a pretty good job in his absence.
Are you sure about that? Because I need to know that regarding my DFS lineup I just submitted.
Well, apparently Berger's back. I'm not exactly sure who's going to start.
I hate this. I hate this when it's like I took a Jacksonville State quarterback. They didn't even fucking play last week.
So Berger got hurt week 1 against Gardner-Webb. And Aguilar comes in that game, throws 4 touchdowns, leads them to victory. I kind of think Aguilar should be the guy. So I don't feel great with App State starting a redshirt freshman coming back from injury. He only has played 1/2 of football in his college career. I'm on the same side as you because Coastal Carolina has been disappointing this year. I'm going to go App at home. I don't feel great about this game either. It's the other Tuesday night game, which I feel really good about.
No. Hear me out here. I'm doing a deeper dive here. I don't give a shit who's starting at quarterback for App because what if I told you it's 80 degrees in Brooks Stadium or Conway, South Carolina right now, right? 80. Well, technically right now at night it's like 60, but tomorrow is a high of 80 degrees in Conway, right? This is a night game, 7:30 kick. 39 degrees in Boone, North Carolina.
Beautiful.
They are gonna feel Big Bird with his little fucking shiny little mullet. Gonna go up to Boone, North Carolina. Get an old fashioned ass whooping. Nate Noel gonna run wild on this team. I'm laying the 6. Actually, fuck it. I'm gonna bet every dude. I love the Tuesday slate when it comes to gambling.
I love it also. And when we're done with the other one, I'm gonna throw out a home team parlay of all 3 home teams Tuesday night. So I'm on the same side as you. I'm going to go App State here. It's at -6 now, I believe. It's gone up a little bit. If it goes over a touchdown, I might flip to Coastal because I think this is a back and forth game. I don't see a blowout. Yeah. You think it's going to be pretty lopsided, huh?
I got something like 38-24 final. 38-27, something like that.
Okay.
Get it done at home. I was on a radio show this morning, or a podcast this morning, I should say. Radio. Who does radio anymore? Where they asked me, with JMU not eligible to play for the Sun Belt Championship, they said, who is coming out of the Sun Belt East? And then I said, App State, I think. But the Sun Belt East, with Old Dominion being good, everyone's good in the Sun Belt East.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you definitely had App winning it, you have more faith in them than me right now. I still have major question marks about Sean Clark, the head coach.
Well, who the hell would you favor then? McCall and Big Bird.
I think Marshall definitely belongs in that conversation.
Yeah, I think it's Marshall or App. If JMU, you can't take JMU. I think
Georgia State and Georgia Southern still have a puncher's chance, I suppose. It's pretty wide open.
Everyone's good in that side of the conference. But
everybody's good, but nobody's great, probably.
App's got the best home field environment. Probably.
Marshall's got a pretty good one.
They do have a good one. Yeah. Anyway, I'm laying the 6. I feel good about it. Let's jump over. So these are all on Tuesday night, folks. Then you get one that, once again, I don't think this team can qualify for the CUSA championship, just like JMU can't in the Sun Belt. Fucking stupid NCAA. Taking joy away from fucking kids that they're supposed to be helping. You filthy fucking whores. Liberty travels to Jacksonville, Alabama. This line is at 6 points. This has gone up. What was it for? I did a Liberty podcast. I was a guest on a Liberty podcast yesterday. It was at 4.5 then. It's at 6 now.
I don't know why.
Hell are we kidding?
Liberty was very fortunate to win last week. They needed a goal line stand against Sam Houston State. I don't see how you can fade Rich Rod right now. You know, I mean, I would prefer that they play the entire game well rather than just the second half like the last 2 weeks.
But they were on the road both those weeks, right?
There's something magical, and I think they were at home the first week. Right? Weren't they?
No, I thought they were at Sam Houston. They were at Sam Houston, man.
No, you're right. You're right. They were at Sam Houston at Middle Tennessee State. They're actually 3-0 ATS at home. Something magical is going on with Jacksonville State right now, and you're going to fade them at home against a Liberty team who's probably due for a loss? No way. I like Jacksonville State. This is a game I'm locking up.
Yes, I will join you. I'm locking up all 3 on Tuesday. I'm betting my
Beautiful.
ass
Tuesday night, home team parlay.
I'm not going live tomorrow. I'm getting a fucking root canal done. I'm just going to be on painkillers going, oh, yeah, let's go. Right? Look, last time they played, Jacksonville State won 31-10 in 2017. All right? Look, here's why I think it works, too, to play on to what you're saying here. Liberty does that shotgun speed option stuff, right? I mean, Rich Rod does speed option at Jacksonville State. So I think the defenses are kind of like Jacksonville State. It's a different offense that Chadwell runs, but it's kind of with like spread option where I think that kind of goes into the way they practice against their option. So
Jacksonville State already has the top defense in the CUSA right now. And to your point, if they're playing an offense similar to the one they run, that's even more in their favor.
I'm locking up all 3.
I love it.
Give me the 6 points. I'm even thinking about a little parlay with all 3. You could even sprinkle the 190 or 200 on Jacksonville State. You got to love it. You got to love it. Tuesday's games are awesome. Let me ask you this. What's the bigger game?
Oh, you have to say 5-0 Liberty against 5-1 Jacksonville State right now. Even though it's
the winner might have the inside track on the Sun Belt East, maybe.
That's clearly the second best game, I think. I mean, that's also my favorite game because I'm a fan of Sun Belt. I'm a fan of those two teams. But I think right now, Liberty 5-0, Jacksonville State 5-1. I mean, you're talking about the other game is 2-3 versus 3-2. So both are great games. Though. This is a fantastic Tuesday.
Yeah, and shout out to Coke Booger in the chat. Says I'm loading up on Tuesday night. Let's go. Darrell also's in there saying he's all over the Liberty spot.
Oh, he's on Liberty. All right.
Hey, this is a loaded slate. Folks, we're going to get to Wednesday here. But before we do that, I want to tell you that the college football experience. It's brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. And Underdog has just introduced Scorchers. Yeah, go 5 for 5 and pick them Scorchers and enjoy a spicy $100 or 100 times the amount of money you enter payout. Get this, and for a limited time only, Underdog is extending their first deposit bonus to up to $500. Yes. Also, we're giving away $100,000 Sundays, where they just give away 100. You kidding me here? 10 lucky players will make $10K each. Unbelievable what they're doing over there. So watch along, maybe make your picks, maybe make a little extra cash on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. I just told you, Jacksonville State moneyline, ride it. All right. So when you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. All right, Wednesday night.
Where's the third game? Only 2? Come on.
That's what I'm saying. They're really letting me down. They're really fucking letting me down here. Put Pick Dundee in charge of college football and basketball, and we'll settle this. The UTEP Miners, your UTEP Miners.
Not anymore. I'm off that bus. Dana Dimmel's a dead man walking.
They head to the airport, to the tarmac, to Hangar 9, where they're going to be taking on Mike McIntyre and FIU. Why do I love all of these games as far as a betting standpoint? This is a fucking lock, dude.
You're that confident in FIU?
Dude, he's not going to lose this game. It's on ESPN2. The Deuce, they used to call it. What?
UTEP had a bye, so they're on 12 days of rest.
Dude, they quit on this fucking coach.
I think you're probably right. Gavin Hardison, the quarterback, didn't play against La Tech. The backups did awful. I think Hardison's going to be back. Monitor that because we're not sure again. I think he's going to give it a go, though. But I think you go with the home team here. UTEP 0-3 ATS on the road. To your point, I think they've pretty much given up and thrown in the towel. And FIU is already a surprising 3-3. I think their over-under on the season was 3. So just win one more, and we're cashing that.
We need to pay attention, though, and maybe this is the line telling us this. So Keon Jenkins, their quarterback they went to, the dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
He got concussed in the last game. Sounds fake to me. But
I think he's going to play too. But this is one you probably wait till Wednesday afternoon for some clarity on both quarterback situations.
I'll say this. If he doesn't play, I'm out. He needs to be – I need to know he's starting because the fact – ever since they've gone to him, this offense has been much better because it's dual threat.
Yeah.
I need to know he's playing. All right? But I feel pretty good about it because UTEP, I think, quit. I think they suck. I think they should go hire Nick Rolovich. Call 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE and hire Nick Rolovich. And yeah, I feel pretty damn good about it. I mean, I know last year UTEP beat them 40-6, but I feel
it's year two. It's year two.
I feel much better, and that was in El Paso. As a guy that's been to El Paso, things get wild in El Paso. All right, tough place to go into the Sun Bowl there.
Well, so far the listeners have tuned in to watch us agree on all 4 games. Maybe we'll change in the Wednesday night one, but I doubt it because I'm on Sam Houston State.
Me too, buddy.
I like this game too. Sam Houston State is due for a win.
This game's great too because these teams remind me of each other, right? You got New Mexico State's got that awesome ass cowboy with those guns going bing, 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 right? And Sam Houston State is like a little brother version of it to me. I know they're the Bearcats, but for something about them, like I like this as a new rivalry game.
Well, the last 2 weeks, they almost beat Liberty and Jacksonville State. Those are the 2 teams atop the CUSA standings right now, for sure. So the fact that, and this line has come down, I think it opened at New Mexico State -5 or 6. It's only at 3.5. Jump in now because I definitely like Sam Houston with the points, but I think this is also
good.
I think this is a money line play.
They're so much better than their record, man. People that don't know college football think they suck. This
Keegan Shoemaker's moving that offense now. I mean, the first few games of the year, that offense was pitiful. They're looking better each week. They got some injuries with the running backs, but I think that's manageable. Yeah, man. Sam Houston money line.
Yes, money line. Take the 3.5 to cover your ass because Jerry Kill teams never really blow anybody out, right? Let's go. So we're really going. We're agreeing all over the place here. Let's hop on over
so far.
So Thursday, Thursday we do get a third game, buddy.
Oh, is it FCS?
Oh, you do not know about the NEC app, which is free to get. Anyone can watch this game. The Wagner Vacuum Company, the Seahawks, are heading. What part of this is on CBS Sports too? Actually, we don't even need the NEC app. This is nationally televised. CBS Sports Network at DeGaulle Field in Loretta, Pennsylvania. Oh, Loretta! Look, St. Francis, PA was a playoff team a year ago, right? They brought back their star quarterback. I think his name is Cole Doyle, if memory serves me correct. They have had some issues because their whole team transferred. App State starts one of their wideouts from a year ago. But St. Francis, PA won 27-7 a season ago. But don't look now. Wagner was one of the worst FCSs over the past couple of years. But they bring in former UConn starting quarterback Steven Krajewski.
I remember him last year.
Oh, yeah. He's back, baby. All right. Now, they might have lost by 49 to Rutgers. And he only threw for a solid 19 yards in that game. However, if you go further back this year, the Vacuum Company and Wagner are 2-3. I can look, if you don't watch FCS football, you have to know, or you probably don't know how bad Wagner was over the past 2 years. The fact they're 2-3, there needs to be a goddamn documentary made about it. All right. So when you tell me I got the Vacuum Company on the road heading to, what did I say? Loretta, Pennsylvania. And you're telling me I can catch a solid, where's my number here? I saw it earlier. It's week 6, right?
7.
That's week 7. Okay. And you're telling me the Vacuum Company is catching 7.5 points? I say wrong team favored.
7.5. They want you. They want you to take the points. Hell no. I'm going red flashes here. We finally have a difference. Give me St. Francis at home to cover the hook.
Thank you, FCS, for random Thursday night NEC game. Hey, NEC. No one watches your fucking games on the app. Do a deal with CBS Sports every Thursday.
There we go.
Give us a game. All right. Love this game. CBS Sports Network, folks. And if you need a guy on the call 1-800-PICK-DUNDEE. I'll do that all day. All right. Now let's jump over to the other Thursday game. I mean, Thursday is awesome. Thursday is absolutely fantastic because you got the Holgorsen Bowl. Oh, not going to get Munson out of the middle of nowhere. Come on. So West Virginia.
Fun matchup.
Here's what's great. West Virginia has been a great story. They've turned it around, right? Neil Brown, he's gonna make it this year, regardless, I think, of if they win or lose this game, which we thought coming into the year that the losing coach might get fired.
Sure.
Well, Holgorsen didn't get fired from West Virginia. He left, but he wasn't getting extended, and I think it was a nice little fuck you to West Virginia when he took the Houston job that was a Group of 5 job at the time.
Right.
But so West Virginia has a chance to get Holgorsen fired now because Houston, they might be pulling the plug on old Holgorsen. This is awesome because he's, I think, said some remarks about, his time there. So you got a lot of animosity, I think, in this game. But also, Holgorsen has the opportunity. Honestly, West Virginia is undefeated in the Big 12. I made this case on the radio show this morning. Their remaining schedule, I think they're going to be favored in every game but one. Right? Hear me out here. We know they're favored against Houston this week, right? And by the way, I think they're favored by 3. They're home to Oklahoma State next week. They'll be favored. They're at UCF. Maybe I think that they could be favored though. If they're sitting there, if
Reese Plumlee's back, maybe by a field goal, similar to this.
Yeah.
Game.
Well, then they're hosting BYU to Morgantown in my favorite games, Meth Heads versus Mormons. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then they're at Oklahoma, right? Now that's the only one I think they're going to be a dog in because after that they're home to Cincinnati and they're at Baylor and the season's over. So you're telling me they're going to be and that means if it goes the way Vegas plans, they would only have one Big 12 loss, which means to me they don't play Texas. They're probably going to end up in the Big 12 championship. The only thing that could fuck them is a trip down to Houston, Texas against Dana Holgorsen, as you're seeing in this fucking photo right here. If you're watching youtube.com/thecollegeexperience.
There he is.
Oh, and Moneyline Mac, he hates this game because he knows. I think WV fans that don't like Holgorsen are saying, yeah, let's get this guy fired. And then, people like Mac that like Holgorsen and think he's an underrated football coach are saying, this game scares us. This could fuck up our whole season. If we go into Houston, this guy might keep us from going to the Big 12 championship game.
I also think most WV fans they liked it better being with the underdog role. Now that they're favored on the road in a primetime matchup in a tricky spot, no wonder why they're a little scared of this game.
Yeah. And that is why I am taking the Houston Cougars to pull the upset.
The line smells, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a 4-1 team, 2-0 in Big 12 play against a 2-3 team, 0-2 in Big 12 play. Houston's 2 games in the Big 12 were bad blowouts. They lost 36-13 at home to an average TCU team. They lost 49-28 at Texas Tech. But West Virginia has good line play and they have a very good defense, and that does travel. And if you look at it, I mean, the last 3 games, they held TCU to 21 points. They held Texas Tech to 13. They held Pitt to 6. Especially impressive was that Texas Tech game. Because,
dude, I want West Virginia to win this game.
Yeah.
I want them to go to the Big 12 championship. But I'm terrified. And the line is telling me this screams. Remember, what did we say last week? Central Michigan was taking on Buffalo, and the line made no sense.
Right.
Buffalo blew them out.
And the same thing. I think the road team was laying 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to take West Virginia, but I'm not going to bet this because I do think the line smells. But I'm going to trust the team with the better defense or the better line play. Another
element of this is there's a few players on Houston that are former Mountaineers. Tony Mathis, O'Laughlin, the tight end. The Mathis is their running back. I think they might even have a couple defenders too. Fucking, this game's awesome. But, I don't feel – this is the one I don't feel confident on. Like, I loved all the other plays.
Yeah.
Literally all of the other plays I loved. Well, I'll take you to one I do love, though. So we're going to have a blackout on Thursday night. First off, every Thursday in Greenville is blackout night. All right. But
every Thursday through Sunday is blackout night.
Yeah, it's blackout night in Greenville, North Carolina. I can attest to this. But now you're telling me that we're wearing these all black uniforms that look phenomenal.
Didn't work for Miami.
It's true. But don't worry. As much as I dislike Mike Houston, I think he's smart enough to kneel the ball. East Carolina is catching 12 against SMU. Get the fuck out of here. You just think you're going to go in on a Thursday night? You think you're just going to walk in?
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina. You don't come to East Carolina. You don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
Folks, ECU's coming off a bye.
They both are.
Yeah, but ECU needed the bye. SMU
agreed. Did. Especially with the young quarterbacks, ECU definitely needed the bye. I think they can regroup, and I think it is at home. I'm on the same side as you. Take the points.
Plus 340 on the money line. Do I got to remind you that ECU, the first time that Mike Houston played SMU in Greenville, North Carolina, won 52-38. Let's fucking go. Let's go. All right. Oh man. All right. Now we can move over to Friday. This is just fantastic. And then we're
back to 3 games, which is preferable, especially when we're talking DFS.
Yes. Friday. This one, you could argue, might be for all the marbles in the AAC first place race.
Fantastic game.
Patty C loves this game because it's Mississippi River football, baby. All right. And I have said, Pick Dundee has said for a long time that they should leave on Monday from New Orleans, on a real showboat and go all the way up the Mississippi River to go to this game in Memphis at the Liberty Bowl, one of the best stadiums in college football. Tulane is laying 3.5 points. I got to be honest, I love Tulane laying 3.5. I think Tulane's going to beat them. Memphis has been a good story this year, but I think Tulane puts it on them. Give me some. I mean, I don't think it'll be like a huge blowout. I think Memphis is good enough this year, but I think Tulane, give me like a 35-28 Tulane win. I'm laying the points, or even 35-31 will get you there. What are you doing here?
I mean, if you look at it, if Michael Pratt doesn't get hurt versus Ole Miss, Tulane very well might be 5-0.
Oh, they would be. They would have beaten them. That score is misleading. Go watch the end of that fucking game. That was a 3-point game.
Right. And like you said, Memphis is having a nice little season, but I do think Tulane is on an entirely different level. Pratt is back and healthy with a game or two under his belt now since the injury. They're ready to roll here. They won by 10 at home last year. I think it's a kind of a similar score to that 38-28 matchup, but I definitely like Tulane even on the road. I'm going to lock it up because I do think the Green Wave's in store for a big game here.
I mean,
it's easy to see a tide turn.
Let's go with the Green Wave. Lock it up. I'll join you on this. I'm telling you, the weekday games are fire this week. Fresno State and Jeff Tedford took a loss. That is a tough road schedule, man. 2 Power 5s on the road, and then you go to Laramie.
This is the second of back-to-backs.
And Utah State. Folks, do I need to tell you what Utah State has done at the half? Blake Anderson. So, they were getting, ever since that Air Force game, ever since that Air Force game, the first half, Utah State, they suck, all right? So Tedford needs to get a big enough lead in the first half. So get this. JMU was up 17-0, right? JMU then went up, I believe this was, 17-20. They were up 24-0. They were up 31-7. 31-7. But Utah State doesn't give up. What if I told you Utah State got this thing back to 38-38 before JMU pulled away and scored a touchdown and won 45-38? All right. So Utah State loses that game. Then Utah State travels to Storrs to take on UConn. UConn was up 17-0. Right? And then out of the fucking blue again, Utah State says, okay, now it's our time to go in. They score 24 unanswered, right? They win 34-33 on a blocked extra point. And then last week against Colorado State got up 17-0 in the first quarter. And then Cooper Lagasse said, no fucking problem. They score. Well, let me just make sure I get this right here. They score 38 unanswered. Dude, what the hell is going
It's
on?
Jacksonville State of the Mountain West.
Yes. They're 3-3, but now Fresno's got to go into Maverick Stadium. This place gets lit, and Merlin Olsen Field gonna be rocking. Fresno's laying 6. I'm terrified of this game as someone has Fresno's over, but I trust Tedford.
This I took the words out of my mouth. This is a trust Tedford play. A little concerned about the Mikey Keene injury. We're not sure if he's going to play yet, but even if he doesn't, Logan Fife, the backup's been around for a while. He's capable. I think we have to trust Fresno to get back on track here. I'm going to lay the points with another road team.
Now, we should pay attention to the weather in Logan also. But yeah, I'm with you. I will lay the 6 at Merlin Olsen Field.
Game time weather is 58 and sunny at kick right now. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay because in Laramie the other night it was like 38. Final game on the slate. The Stanford Cardinal are heading to Boulder, Colorado. Take on prime time. Colorado's laying 11.5 or 12. Shop around. Man, the last time these two teams played, the Buffs won 35-32 in Palo Alto. Man, I can't lay 12, man. I just can't. I love Colorado. All right. But I think Troy Taylor is a great offensive coach. I know he's 1-4 at Stanford. He only won at Hawaii, right? But I do believe he is a very good offensive head coach. He doesn't have the guys to run his system yet. But I think he'll be able to find some type of enough success to cover 12 offense.
Coming off a bye, too. It's similar to ECU. Stanford was a team that really needed a bye just due to the youth in that program. So I think the bye does them well. And look, Colorado games, all of them go down to the wire. I don't care who they're playing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think you take the points. Colorado probably wins because it seems like they have that kind of poise down the stretch. They have that magic in their ass, I guess, So I say Colorado wins, but give me the points. And, we said Tuesday a home team parlay. How about an away team parlay Friday night?
I'm sorry. You're making me laugh here. You're making magic in your ass. All right.
Up their ass or something like that. Horseshoe up their ass. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but what I'm trying to say is take Stanford and take the road teams Friday night.
And here I thought Michael Cooper was the only one with magic in his ass, right? That's a reference.
What does that mean?
That's just a reference to Magic Johnson getting AIDS. It's a dark joke. All right. It's a very dark joke. All right. Anyway, folks.
Maybe it was what's his name? AJ Green? AC Green, right? Wasn't he the virgin?
42-year-old virgin.
He may not have been an ass virgin.
That's true. He didn't say he was an ass virgin. All right. I can't do the show anymore. I don't think does anyone know who Michael Cooper is? I think me and you are the only two that know who. They probably think hanging with Mr. Cooper. No, this is anyway, folks. Yeah. Okay. You got a lock? What's the one you feel best about?
For Friday night?
Yeah.
Tulane.
No, for the whole weekday.
The best one. So my locks would be Jacksonville State and Tulane are my favorite plays. Those two. Boom.
Really? I think my favorite play is Middle Tennessee, right?
I think you're crazy to be that confident with them.
Middle Tennessee is going to fuck them up.
I hope you're right.
But I do like Tulane a lot. Tulane would probably be my second. Folks, stick around. If you're watching on YouTube, don't go anywhere because we're going to do the FCS portion or the DFS portion right here. But just hang tight for a second here as I end the audio stream. And we're back on the College Football Experience DFS show for all the weekday games. Look, we got, like I said, we just went across. If you haven't listened to our preview and picks for all the weekday games, that episode is out. We have 3 games on Tuesday, 2 games on Wednesday, 3 games on Thursday, 3 games on Friday. On those picks, that whole episode tackles all those games. Go listen to it. All right. But now it is the DFS side of things. So, all right.
Now the DFS is just for Tuesday and Wednesday because we don't have the slates for Thursday and Friday yet.
Yeah.
But the Tuesday slate's fun because we have 3 games. La Tech, Middle Tennessee with an over-under 54.5. Liberty, Jacksonville State with an over-under of 56.5. Coastal, App State with an over-under of 61. Are you kind of surprised that the over-under in that Liberty Jacksonville State game is so high?
Yeah.
I think that's the lowest scoring game on the slate, not La Tech Middle Tennessee, personally.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I feel very good about that, actually. I feel very good about that assessment. And by the way, folks, once again, this is a brand new DFS show here. You're rocking with Pick Dundee and NC Nick, and we invite you to come play DFS with us. We'll tweet it out from NC Nick's account, NC__NICK, also from the College Football Experience account, TCE on SGPN. We invite you to come play DFS with us. So like he said, we do not have Thursday's lineup out yet. They haven't released it. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We will do another episode on Thursday morning that will tackle that. This episode is strictly for Tuesday and Wednesday DFS. So let's jump into it, man. We have 3 games, as you just alluded to. We have Middle Tennessee hosting La Tech, right? Where we just said that we think there'll be a lot of points. Coastal Carolina heading to Appalachian State in a key Sunbelt game. And then Liberty at Jacksonville State.
And
Conference USA game.
We alluded to this last week too. Playing a DFS slate when there's just 2 games, it's a bit challenging just because there's so fewer options. So it's nice to have a 3rd game here. But honestly, I didn't roster anybody in Liberty Jacksonville State.
Oh, well,
I didn't set out to do that. It's kind of just the way it broke.
Well, I think I'm going to beat you this week.
I wanted to get your opinion on the quarterback position in this slate because there's some mysteries. There's the whole Jacksonville State thing. We know because we rostered Logan Smothers last week, and he gets yanked in the first half for what's my other guy's name?
Zion Webb.
Zion Webb, who comes in and looks amazing. It seems like Rich Rod is going to ride the hot hand. I don't know who's going to start or play this game for Jacksonville State. So I don't know about you, but I steered clear of that one.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. We got burned really bad last week. Did you go with 2 quarterbacks?
I did. And I don't trust the App State situation right now with Ryan Berger apparently back and healthy. I don't know who's going to start for App between him and Aguilar.
I just backed off of that. While you were talking, I was buying time. I was over here like the guy in Wayne's World. Work is hard.
Right. So that leaves 4 teams that you can roster their quarterback. I mean, the most expensive is Caden Salter for Liberty at 8.6K, but I don't know how much better he is than the other guys. So I went cheap with quarterback.
Wow. So you went with my boy.
First guy I went with is Big Bird, Grayson McCall.
The old veteran going up to Boone for one final game. All right.
I know he hasn't had a great season so far, and I know the new head coach is not the offensive mastermind that Chadwell was, but I mean, ULM just put up 40 on App State. Their dual threat quarterback in that game put up about 350 total yards and 5 touchdowns. And this game does have the highest over-under of all 3. So I think getting McCall for 6K is a money saver. I think he can have a solid game.
I mean, look, he's a veteran. He's on the road. Tim Beck's offense utilizes the screen to the running back very well. Maybe you can load up on stats like that. I think you're making a mistake though, and I think my team is gonna fuck your team up, dude. Because I went out and I can't believe you're just gonna go away from. This is a guy that you have to ride, Caden Salter, the quarterback for the Flamin' Libs.
I think Jacksonville State. First off, Jacksonville State is ranked the highest or the best defense in Conference USA, and I think they're the best defense on this slate. So I wasn't willing to pay up that much more money for a guy who doesn't have a great matchup.
Look, anytime you can get a Jamie Chadwell quarterback, you're taking the wrong Jamie Chadwell quarterback. He's not there in Conway anymore.
Touche.
You take Salter and you go. Did you have a second quarterback?
Yes, and this guy's even cheaper for 5.9K. I'm gonna go Jack Turner, who's supplanted Hank Bachmeier as La Tech's quarterback. MTSU has one of the worst defense in the whole country, giving up 33.3 points per game. They're especially bad against the pass, currently ranked 100th in the country. And these quarterbacks, they're dirt cheap, and they allowed me to spend up elsewhere. And I think even if you go Salter and Vadiato, they could have good games, but are they going to have that much better games than my 2 cheap quarterbacks?
You know, they thought they were going to get over on Freedom in the United States. But Jack Turner, international man of mystery.
You gonna fade him?
Ideas.
You're gonna fade Jack Turner?
I'm gonna fade him. Give me Nicholas Vibrator or whatever the fuck his name is for Middle Tennessee. That dude, look, Middle Tennessee. Have you watched La Tech's defense? I think it's terrible. I think it's one of the worst defenses.
In the second half against Western Kentucky, it wasn't.
They waved the white flag, man. They waved the white flag. Give me Nicholas Vibrator all day at Johnny Red Floyd Stadium to get it done.
Don't forget your batteries.
Yeah, bring your batteries. All right, look, before we get to the rest of our team, I want to tell you that the special DFS lineup for the weekday action is brought to you by Game Time. Yeah. Buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be that stressful. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for sports, music, comedy, and theater that is near you. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun that you'll be having at that very event. So, snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Once again, create that account. Redeeming code is CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. So stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching the Hall of Fame bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com and use the promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, we are back on the college football experience and at the running back position. I mean, I'll be honest, I love this slate compared to the Wednesday slate.
Wednesday's rough. Wednesday's brutal.
Yeah, Wednesday, you need a shot of bourbon just to go through the fucking lineup. My running back, I have him in my fantasy league. Nate Noel, he's one of the best running backs in the country. He's averaging 5.3 yards a rush. He's got 4 touchdowns on the ground.
5 straight games over 100 yards. He's been over 100 each game this season. And Coastal Carolina's run defense is struggling, currently ranked 99th in the country.
This is you have him too?
I do, of course.
Nate Noel saying go app.
How many running backs do you have total?
No, only 2 this time.
Same here. Same here. Mine are chalky as hell, though. And my first guy is more expensive than Nate Noel. And since you paid up at quarterback, maybe you didn't have the chance to roster him.
No, I rostered him.
Tyree Shelton?
Oh, no. I thought you were going to say no. Okay. So you have to explain your pick.
6.9K Tyree Shelton. You rostered him last week, and all he did was 21 for 118 and 2 touchdowns. I didn't take him last week because I thought La Tech might have to play from behind. It doesn't matter. They give this guy 20-plus carries pretty much every game, especially with all the other injuries in that backfield. I think this game's going to be closer than you do. So I think Tyree Shelton's going to have another nice game.
All right.
Who's your second guy?
Well, I paid a little more.
A little more.
I paid up for those quarterbacks. I went shopping Malik Jackson for Jacksonville State. Didn't I tell you that guy's a stud? You see what he did against Sam Houston? 13 for 129 against Eastern Michigan, 21 for 127. He's had 300-yard games this year. I know against Middle Tennessee, he only had 54 yards rushing, but
on 21 carries, not very efficient.
Still, I want the 21 carries. That talks to me.
True.
And over that was the second most carries he's got all season. Liberty's defense, I don't think is as good as people think. And I think Rich Rodriguez is going to find ways to scheme them up. I think it's going to be a fun one there. So I think it's 7,400. Give me Malik Jackson.
I like the play, but so far you've spent more at quarterback and more at running back than me. So you got to have some bottom of the barrel receivers.
Go shopping, man. You got to go shopping. You got to know a guy or two.
I spent up at receivers, and I'm going to start with Smoke Dog.
Oh, big Smoke Dog, Smoke Harris from La Tech.
7.1K, another guy that you rostered last week, and you good call on your part. He had a major bounce back from that quiet game versus UTEP. He went 11 for 117 last week. I think that one bad game was an anomaly. I think this guy, he's their possession guy. He's going to catch 9, 10, 11 balls pretty much every week.
I couldn't afford him, but he's a stud.
Right.
He's a stud. And by the way, you see the chat. Shout out to Arba was talking about Antario Brown for Northern Illinois, 13
Crazy.
rushes, 280 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Jeez, what kind of average is that?
Dude, he's like, that's Al Bundy. He just did Al Bundy's, like, Al Bundy talks about 4 touchdowns one game. That's him. That's him right there. Yeah. Wish I would have had him in DFS for like probably $500.
I don't think Northern Illinois was on the slate, unfortunately.
It's true. They need to have a slate for everybody. All right.
They should.
Okay, let's hop on over to my side of things here with my top price wide receiver. Buddy, ever since I was a kid, I knew you never fade a Metcalf on a football field. All right. Whether it's Terry, whether it's Eric, it doesn't matter. Metcalf, DK Metcalf, you just can't. All right. He had 4 for 115 and 2 touchdowns against Jacksonville State. This dude's a fucking stud out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's a young buck, but he's a stud. At 6,600, give me Elijah Metcalf.
Play the music. He's basically Middle Tennessee State's version of Smoke Harris.
He's gonna be a stud, dude. You know, if they fire Stockstill, you know he's gone. East Carolina, pick up the phone. There's an Elijah Metcalf out there. Yeah, he's a stud. So who's your second? So wait, who's your third then?
Yeah, because I got Smoke Harris and Elijah Metcalf. I spent up for those 2 receivers. Fantastic. Those guys are volume receivers, lots of catches, yards, touchdowns, you name it. My third receiver, let me stack him with Big Bird. I'm going to take you to Jared Brown, the Chanticleer receiver for 5.7K. Coming off his best week of the season, going 8 for 106 against Georgia Southern. Had a big game against App last year where he went 5 for 79 through the air and 3 for 84 and a touchdown rushing. The guy's a playmaker. I think he could have a big game in Boone.
All right. I don't take anyone on Tim Beck's offenses. All right. my theory. All right.
So you have nobody on Coastal.
Nobody on Coastal.
Okay.
All right. But my second highest price, but I do have someone in that game. All right. I think, especially if you're going back to the old bread and butter, the Ryan Berger quarterback, Christian Horn is the second leading receiver for Appalachian State. But if you look into what's happening there, he's coming on. I think he was struggling a little bit midway through the beginning of the season, but 6 for 124 and 2 touchdowns last week. I think they remember just who the hell they have there in the junior Christian Horn out of Columbia, South Carolina. So tell me you didn't roster Christian Horn?
No, what's his price?
Dude, 5,900.
No, I rostered a different App State receiver. And I talk about, good weeks. Well, their leading receiver, Caden Robinson, who has 8 more catches, 100 more yards than Christian Horn, is only 4.7K. And last week he went 10 for 112 and a touchdown.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's as good as the stat line I gave out.
Well, but overall, he's done more this season, and he's about $1,000 cheaper.
Well, nope. I'll see you on the gridiron. All right. See you on the gridiron.
Now, in all seriousness, it's been tough to pinpoint the App State receiver who has the best game because Deshaun Davis is also in that mix, as is Milan Tucker. That's a good bourbon bet. I'll make that bet even though my guy is so much cheaper. But yeah, Robinson versus Horn, I like it. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's have a little wager on some bourbon, a little bottle of bourbon bet. What was that bourbon I gave you the other day? Look at this.
The Redwood Empire, straight from Sonoma County, California.
There you go. Redwood Empire.
Might be known for their wine, but the bourbon ain't too shabby either.
There you go. See? You guys think we're just making shit up over here? These battles mean something. All right, look, second to last guy for me, wide receiver, taking you back to good old Murfreesboro, Tennessee at Johnny Red Floyd Stadium. Elijah Metcalf has been their stud, but there's an underrated. I had to bargain shop. And the only DJ that I respect in Murfreesboro, Tennessee is DJ England Chisholm. All right. Hey, this guy's a senior. All right. Rick Stockstill's hitting. He's gotten a little they're 1-5. Sometimes you gotta call up the seniors and say, they're gonna fire me, guys, unless we don't get our shit together. And that's why I think this is a guy that only had 11 yards receiving last week. But he got 2 catches. He got 4 targets. So at $4,100, I think Rick Stockstill dials it up to his old seniors, DJ, England, Chisholm. Load it up. Let's go.
This guy's been a bit perplexing. Against Miami last year, 2 catches, 169 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's one of those guys that went off against the Hurricanes last year, but other than that, has been relatively quiet. He had a decent season last year, has been quieter this season. But look, I mean, it's a low dollar amount. It's a punt play. You pick somebody on a pretty good passing offense who's at home in a game. There should be some points, so I don't mind the play.
Arbo's making me laugh because my high school teammate, my teammate in high school basketball was a goofy white senator. We called him Big Bird. Haven't heard from him in years.
We've been calling Grayson McCall Big Bird for a couple years because obviously the Chanticleer,
the mullet
is a bird, and he was the top dog. He's the Big Bird.
So how many players you got left? 1?
No, I'm done, man. I'm spent.
Well, I bargain shopped over to that. I'm gonna stay in that same game, buddy. Louisiana Tech take it on Middle Tennessee. La Tech throws the shit out of the ball. They run the air raid. So there's a guy named Kobe DeRue, a senior from over here in Diamond Bar, California. He's got 2 touchdowns on the season, but he's been injured. He's been injured, man. He's coming back. He's a senior. He hasn't been on the field since September 9th, where he had 3 catches for 29 yards and a touchdown. Go back to the SMU game. 3 catches, 55 yards and a touchdown. I'm loading up on Kobe DeRue at $3,900.
You're really going far. The McNeese State transfer. I don't know a whole lot about this cat. I'm not gonna lie.
6 for 84 and 2 touchdowns. Let's go.
All right. Yeah. Another even deeper dive. You're not snorkeling.
We don't do that here on the college football experience.
You got the scuba gear on for sure. Kobe DeRue. All right. Well, see, look, when you spend up at quarterback, you're left with taking a couple of deep shots.
Well, this is the old Mike Leach play. When you played a DFS lineup with Leach's teams, they do the air raid, so they throw the ball to like 80 different receivers. You know what I mean? Like I remember looking at Washington State's receivers. You're like, they had this many catches in a game, like, and you're bound to get a couple fantasy points. That's all you're asking for this play. But let's not forget, in both games he played, he did score touchdowns, and that's what we're counting on here. So load up. Let's go. All right.
Beautiful. Let's do it.
All right. Look, before we get to Wednesday slate. I almost said Thursday slate. I'm all over the fucking place here. I want to tell you that the College Football Experience DFS show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog has just introduced Scorchers. Go 5 for 5 and pick 'em Scorchers and enjoy a spicy 100 times the amount of money you enter payout. And for a limited time, Underdog is extending their first deposit bonus up to $500. Look, they also give away $100K on every Sunday. Yeah, 10 lucky players will get $10,000 each. Holy hell. An underdog I like is the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. So jump on over there. Tuesday night action. Rich Rod for life. Watch along, make picks, and maybe make a little extra cash on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $500. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. All right, we are back on the College Football Experience bonus edition DFS weekday. That's what's beautiful about this. We got just tons of weekday action. But on Wednesday, this lineup, let's talk about this fun that we have slated here for this. So I really need this guy to play. This guy was concussed. This lineup, you have 2 games. UTEP at Florida International on Wednesday. You also have Sam Houston State at New Mexico State.
Both of these over-unders are in the low 40s. 44 for UTEP FIU, 41.5 for Sam Houston Mexico State. Vegas isn't predicting a ton of offense.
Did you load up 2 quarterbacks?
I did, and also there's some some clarity needs to be found with some of these situations here, because as we talked about in our pick show tonight, FIU with Keon Jenkins, he's probable. I think he's passed all his tests in the concussion protocol. I think he's going to play, but I'm not positive. And then you got Gavin Hardison, who's questionable, potentially coming back for UTEP.
Yeah, and so
with that, I rostered the other 2 quarterbacks, and that is Diego Pavia for 8.3K.
Well, wait. I'm going to have to do that now because of the Jenkins injury.
I mean,
I got it right now. Until I find out for sure he's playing.
Right.
Diego Pavia. I like a quarterback that pisses on his rival's logo.
That's right. That's right. And I went Keegan Shoemaker, 6.1K.
Well, I have him too. That's my other quarterback. Look.
Now, I will, like you said, I will entertain Wednesday at late afternoon, making sure who's going to play and then potentially switch. Especially, I mean, so who would you switch? Would you remove Pavia or would you remember Shoemaker?
No, I'd remove Pavia. Shoemaker's a bargain shopper. I like the Shoemaker play.
I kind of agree.
At the running back spot, I went with 3 this week.
I only went 2.
Okay. I like this. My most expensive.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No,
but
go ahead.
Okay. Well, Star Thomas is I kind of don't know what running back to play, but Star Thomas, this guy's their touchdown guy. 4 touchdowns on the season. I know he only had 8 carries. See, that's my problem with Jerry Kill's team. It's like everyone's getting 8 carries.
Yeah.
But he does seem to be their short yardage guy. So I'm going to take a shot on Star Thomas. Like, he's also got a receiving touchdown too. So he has 5 touchdowns on the season. The other running backs don't even come close to that. So I think you have to, if you're going to play a running back for New Mexico State, it makes the most sense to play Star Thomas, because New Mexico State's offense is not a big play offense. They're going to get inside the 10. And guess what? Star Thomas is their guy.
Not a whole lot of great running backs on this slate, especially with Sam Houston being down. I think they're top 3 guys or something. And every other situation, including New Mexico State, it's like a split backfield. But I went Star Thomas too, because he is a threat in the red zone. He's getting the goal line carries. You hope he gets another one.
Yeah. And okay, well then my second highest price running back, and I bet you might have him on your team. Although, what's happening here? Do we have any insiders in South Florida? Did Shamari Lawrence fuck Mike McIntyre's daughter? What happened?
I don't know.
What happened here? Like, this is a guy that was killing it out the gate. The starting running back for FIU against La Tech, 15 for 139 and a touchdown, right? He was their entire team's offense, right? North Texas, week 3, 16 for 89 and a touchdown. He also had 1 for 17 receiving. But ever since then, he's had 9 carries against UConn, 9 for 37. Against the Flamin' Libs of Liberty, 6 for 21. Last week against New Mexico State, 3 for 11 and a touchdown. What's going on here? What happened? What am I missing?
For the last 4 weeks, he's been getting less carries each week. That is not what you like to see.
Something happened. All right. I want the deep dive here on what happened here.
Did you roster him?
Of course.
Yeah.
Because if you tell me their quarterback's out, if their quarterback doesn't play, go back to the Louisiana Tech game when their only offense, folks, you think I'm joking. Go back and look at the La Tech game when they were starting the other quarterback. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. They only passed for 4 yards.
Was it Grayson James, I think?
Yes. They only passed for 4 yards that game against La Tech's defense, which is horrible. They had 143 yards of offense. Do you know who produced the 139 yards of offense? Shamari Lawrence.
I don't know what's going on there, man. So I steered clear of that whole backfield. I went UTEP. And, even though I'm a fan of Dion, the Tank Hankins,
yeah,
I think he's been supplanted by a younger guy named Torrance Burgess Jr., who's actually been maybe the lone bright spot on UTEP.
It's my third running back. He's playing for a payday in the portal.
He'll definitely be transferring out sometime in the springtime.
Yeah. So let's go. 6,400. Arbo in the chat. Wait, if Mike McIntyre really has a daughter, then I apologize. All right, but it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
That this guy all of a sudden would get benched. He was awesome on their team last year too. But look, no, I have Burgess too with UTEP, and I think you have to roster him.
Yeah, I agree. So you named all three of your running backs. I only had two, which means I have four receivers. I'll lead the way. The one guy you can rely on for FIU, which is a little scary with the quarterback potentially not playing, but Chris Mitchell, the receiver, is the wide receiver one. 4 straight games, double-digit fantasy points, went 8 for 91 last week. Already has 4 touchdowns on the season. He's probably the best receiver on the slate. So Chris Mitchell.
I didn't have that type of cash to just throw around there at these wideouts that coming in, but I like the play. Dude, I'll be honest, this slate, you're pissing in the wind. All right. My top priced wideout is, I'm trying to remember his first name here. The running back, the wide receiver for Sam Houston State, Smith. What's his first name again?
It is Noah Smith.
Yeah.
Play the music.
Okay. This is a guy that I've rostered for a couple weeks now in DFS. And I mean, he kind of just is their only option. 3 times as many catches as the next wideout on the team.
Well, the last 2 games, really 10 for 97 and a touchdown and 13 for 97. So possession receiver. I mean, he's getting, what's his name? The quarterback, Shoemaker's looking to him basically on every passing attempt, and he's still under 6K. You have to roster Noah Smith.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, so then my next cheapest wide receiver, taking you to Las Cruces, all right, where Brady is his name. I'm trying to remember what the fuck. I had all this written down before. This is one where this is truly like pissing in the wind, because New Mexico State's not a team that's really built for passing the ball. Jonathan Brady, he's their leading receiver. This is how ridiculous this offense is. Have you seen the stat line? The Aggies wideouts.
It is crazy. I have no confidence in any of them.
Their leading receiver. Remember, they played week 0 too, guys. All right. They've played 6 games already, right? Their leading receiver has 13 catches.
Just over 2 catches per game.
And he does have 3 touchdowns, but I just thought that, Pavia is probably one of the better quarterbacks on the slate. Maybe he takes a shot and fires it over to Jonathan Brady there, who leads the Aggies in receiving. So that was my logic on the card here. Who's your next wideout?
My next guy is another UTEP minor, actually. We know Tyron Smith is not playing, and he is the UTEP leading receiver as far as catches. He has 2 more than Kelly Akhar-Yayi, but Akhar-Yayi has over 100 more yards. I'm sorry, 99 more yards to be exact. So I'm getting a wide receiver 1. Even though UTEP's passing attack is questionable, especially if Hardison doesn't play, for 5.4K, that's the direction I went.
All right. I like it. I only have 1 more player left, so I think you might have to give away another one, right?
I only have 1 more guy as well.
All right.
Go ahead, man. You lead the way.
I'm taking you back to the tarmac. All right. This is a little bargain play here at 4,700. But Jalen Bracey, the senior out of Jackson, Mississippi, he's good. All right. And he has 13 catches, and he's the 3rd leading receiver on FIU, to show you the difference. Look, I know the past 2 weeks, I think he missed or didn't play in the Liberty game against New Mexico State. He only had 2 for 16, but go back before that. He had 5 for 90 and a touchdown against UConn. The game before that against North Texas, 5 for 59. Get this guy the ball. All right. Get him the ball. 4,700. Jalen Bracey.
Interesting. I went a different route. I went another FIU receiver, and this is a guy who was playing defensive back for Memphis last year. You probably don't remember, but week 0, I highlighted him because I thought he was a long shot that could produce. Well, he wasn't even on the active depth chart week 0, but he is now, and he caught 5 for 60 last week. His name's Eric Rivers. I think this is the roster spot where I differentiate myself from everybody else. And I think Eric Rivers might just be coming on at receiver there for the Golden Panthers.
Hey, that makes a little bit of sense. Remember, Mike McIntyre was the DC at Memphis. That's probably how he knows him. Tells him to come on over here, play some offense, and look at him. He's getting it done. Folks, that's our lineup. I'm going to beat you. Do we have a battle of bourbon on the line for this one?
How about those 2 FIU receivers?
Let's go. Bracy
There we go.
against Rivers. Let's go, folks. I'll see you out on the gridiron. Folks, make sure you check out our picks episode for the games happening Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll be back picking games Wednesday night. All of the Saturday card will be done on Wednesday night. Me, NC Nick, Patty C. You know how we do it. All right. Subscribe to the College Football Experience. And remember,
we'll be back Thursday night or Thursday during the day for the Thursday, Friday, and 2 Saturday DFS slates.
That's right. And even Thursday night, we have the FCS Week 7 preview and picks as well. Folks, we invite you to come play DFS with us. All right. Once again, we tweeted out at TCE on SGPN, NC Nick's on Twitter at NC__NICK. I'm on Twitter, the Colby D. Give us a follow. And folks, check out the College Football Experience. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes already. What are you doing? Get on over there. Give us a follow. iTunes, 5-star review. Do it. Takes 2 minutes out of your day. It helps us. All right. I also have a Dantabase Top 25 episode out on Wednesday. I normally do it tomorrow, but tomorrow I'm going to the dentist. All right. So, and we're doing college basketball previews. Shout out to Ryan Hasty in the chat. Look, we got a bunch of college basketball previews. We dropped a shit ton of them. The Big East came out yesterday. Go check out the Big East preview. Today, the Big Sky. All right. We just got a ton of them. So get out there, check out the College Basketball Experience. We're going to break down all 31 conferences before the season tips on November 6th. Also, check out the College Baseball Experience with myself and Noah Beanick. And we now have the Big 12 Experience with Moneyline Mac. He's already talking West Virginia, Houston. He's terrified of Holgerson. Go listen. All right. They talk anything Big 12. So do that. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast on VSiN every single Friday night. If you have YouTube TV, you have VSiN, VSIN. That's Brent Musburger's network. They're live from Las Vegas every Friday night, 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 Eastern, midnight Eastern, that is. Folks, until next time, this is the College Football Experience, DFS style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.